All right, slope. The slope m of a line is the ratio of the change in the y coordinates to the corresponding change in the x coordinates. So slope can be expressed several different ways. We see it as a letter M when we write it out in slope-intercept form. We can express it as rise over run. We can say it's the change in y over the change in x.
Wait, how does the triangle change?
It's a Greek letter, delta, and it means the change. And we can use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to start off by looking at finding the slope using the change in y over the change in x.
Alright.
It's pretty simple. What we're going to do is we're going to take our x and y values and put them into the table and look at the change based on the table. So example 1, we have the points 2, 3, and 9, 7. So the 2 is going to go into which column? X, and the 3 goes in the y, the 9 goes in the and the 7 goes in the
Y.
So now all we do is look at the table and we look at the change. Moving from 3 to 7, how many do we move?
You add 4.
We add 4. And moving from 2 to 9,
You add
we
6. No, 7.
add 7. So the change in y is 4, and the change in x is 7. And that's it.
So, like, there it is.
There it
That's the
is.
answer.
That's the answer.
Bam.
All right, so we have -3 and -4 and the 0.5, -1. So the -3 goes under the x, -4 goes under the y. 5 goes under the x, -1 goes under the y. So when we move from -4 to -1,
You add 3.
add 3. And when we go from -3 to 5, we
Add
8. Add 8.
add 8, yes. So the change in y is
3.
3, and the change in x is
8.
8. And there's our slope.
Why are there so many different ways?
Yeah.
Because there's just, you can look at a table, you can look at a graph, you can look at a set of numbers.
Oh, okay.
So there's lots of different ways to express it. Example 3, we have 7 and -8, 14 and -6. So to move from -8 to -6,
You plus 2.
add 2. Move to from 7 to 14, we
Plus 7.
add 7. So our change in y is
2.
and our change in
Over
x
7.
7.
Example 4, we have -2 and 3 and 8 and 3. So the change from 3 to 3
0.
2.
and -2 to 8,
10.
we add 10. So the change in y over the change in x is
0 over 10.
which is
0.
0. Now, doing it in the table is the same as doing it by the formula. You're just visualizing it a different way. Because we took the y2 value and subtracted the y1 value, and in this particular example, we got 2. And then we took the x2 value and subtracted the x1 value and got 7. It's the same thing, just displayed a different way. Some people would rather put things in a table and find the difference real quick. Some people would rather do the formula. So we have to find the slope using the formula. So example 5. We have an x1 and a y1 and an x2 and a y2. Doing the same thing, just using the formula. So our y2 is,
3
No.
wait,
our y2, 5 minus our y1, which is 2, over
3 minus 1.
3 minus 1, which gives us
3 over 2.
all right, example 6. What's my y2 value?
3.
5.
5 minus
4.
Negative 2.
my
Oh.
x2 value.
I did that
And
wrong.
then 3 plus 2
Yeah.
Right. 3 minus a negative 2 becomes 3 plus 2.
equals 1 over 5.
All right, example 7. What's my y2 value?
7
Minus
4,
over
3 plus 1.
no.
Negative 1 minus 3.
Yes.
Oh, just kidding.
So what does that give us?
Negative 3 plus
3 over.
Negative 4.
3 over negative
All right, example 8. What's my y2 value?
4. Negative 10.
Minus,
Plus
Negative
5.
plus
yep, plus 5 over,
7 minus 2.
which is
5.
Negative
over,
5 over 5.
which is
Negative 1.
okay.
Why would it be
You have negative 5 divided by positive 5, so that gives you negative 1.
Okay, that looks like a 7.
Yeah.
Silly.
All right. Example 9 and 10. In examples 9 and 10, complete the table using at least 3 points and graph the line. Use 2 points on the line and calculate the slope. So example 9. Our equation is y equals 2x plus 1, and we need to substitute these values in. So we have negative 2 times negative 1 plus 1. What does that give us?
Negative 1.
Negative 1.
This is a positive 2, sorry. Positive 2 times negative 1 plus 1 does give us a negative 1. So that point is negative 1 and negative 1.
Oh my gosh, this is really tiny.
It is. Next we have 2 times 0, which is
0.
plus 1.
1.
So our next ordered pair is 0 and 1. Then we have 2 times 1, which is
2.
2 plus 1 is
3.
so the next ordered pair is 1 and 3. Do we have a straight line?
Precisely.
All right, so we've completed the t-table and we've graphed the line. Now we need to use 2 points on the line and calculate the slope. So, Virgil,
Yeah,
which point do you want to start with?
I just used the negative 1 in the first step.
Okay, negative 1 and negative 1. Becca, pick the other point.
0 and 1.
Okay. All right, so what's our y2 value?
Or 1.
1.
1 minus our y1 value, which is
Negative 1.
negative 1
Plus.
plus. And then our x2 value is
0.
0 minus
Negative 1.
negative 1
Are we
plus.
allowed to do just rise over Romans?
Yeah.
You could have.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
that's
I
what I
was
did.
doing.
Okay. So I have 1 plus 1, which is
2.
2 over.
1.
So it's
All right, so
Equal
that does give us 2. Let's look at our graph, and our rise is 2 over 1. Good.
Oh my goodness.
So like we can just do
I hope whoever listens to this knows we are geniuses.
Okay. All right, so next one we have 1/3 times -3 minus 2. What does that give us?
-3.
Yes. 1/3 times 0 is minus 2.
-2.
1/3 times 6 is
2.
minus 2.
0.
So our points are -3, 1, 2, 3, and -3. 0 and -2. And 6 and 0. Do you have a straight line?
Yes.
Okay.
This one.
All right, so now let's use the method that we were just looking at on the front. To go from -2 to 0, how many did we move?
+2.
Plus 2. And you go from 0 to 6,
+6.
plus 6. So our slope is
1 over 6. 2 over 6.
2 over 6,
Which is 1 over 3.
which is 1/3. Now is it the same as our rise
Yes.
over run? Up 1 over 3. Now, look at your slopes.
It's always in the equation.
It's always in the equation. Where is it in the equation?
It's
that
1/3
external,
of x.
Nice.
Whatever multiplies x.
Our slope is always in the equation. So you can double check a couple different ways. Using the formula or the change, looking at your rise over run, or looking at your equation.
Mauer, I